Good morning. Just like to update everyone on the incident we had the last day and a half on Fitch Hill Road. On Wednesday the 13th, somewhere around 12:30, the Guilford Fire Department received a 911 call for a structure fire on Durham Road. Responding fire personnel, when they got to that location, did see smoke coming from the structure, indicating a fire. They were confronted at that location by a male brandishing two weapons, long guns. Fire department kind of backed out of the scene, and that male left the area in a vehicle. Information was broadcast to our police officers. Shortly after, we received a phone call that male was at an address on Fitch Hill Road. It was an address of a family member, and officers responded there, secured the scene, attempted a dialogue with the subject that we knew was armed, and were unable to immediately get a dialogue, but we had gotten a phone call from inside the house from the family member who indicated that he was there and he was armed and they were being held inside the house. At that point, we initiated contact with our South Central SWAT team and our crisis negotiation team to initiate an effort to negotiate with the male for a peaceful resolution of the current crisis. That negotiation lasted for almost 18 hours. During that time, the male, our crisis negotiators, tried to negotiate with him to come out or to release the family member that was with him, which was unsuccessful. As time wore on and negotiations continued, as you know, our South Central SWAT team was swapped out with the state police SWAT team because of the amount of time that the officers had been out there on the scene for over 14 hours straight through the day and the evening. At that point, the state police SWAT team came in and switched out the South Central regional SWAT team. And I'm just going to step back for a moment, and I'm going to introduce Lieutenant Giannone, and he's going to talk a little bit about the state police response.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning. My name is Lieutenant Alex Giannone. I'm the commanding officer of the State Police Central District. As the Chief said, last night at approximately this morning at approximately 3 in the morning, we received a call from the Guilford Police Chief to assist them with the investigation in their scene. At approximately 4:30 a.m., our Connecticut State Police Emergency Services Unit took over the scene and attempted to negotiate with the people inside. Unfortunately, contact was never made with anyone in the residence, and at some point while we were on scene, members of the State Police SWAT team heard a woman in the house yelling in distress. At that point, members of the SWAT team decided to conduct a hostage rescue operation. As a result of the hostage rescue operation, the woman inside was safely rescued without injury to herself or our state police personnel. Furthermore, an inspection of the scene on the second floor provided that a deceased male was found with an apparent gunshot wound. The female victim who was rescued was sent to the hospital for evaluation. She doesn't appear to have any injuries. In consultation with Chief Hyatt and the State's Attorney's Office, the State Police Major Crimes Unit will be assuming the investigation. Due to our relationship with the Guilford Police Department, the Chief of Police, and the regional SWAT team, we believe this led to the best possible outcome. And thank you. Chief?
So do you think that this was for sure a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and was there only one?
The OCME will determine cause and manner, as is typical in a case like this, but we do believe it was self-inflicted. There were no police officers involved in firing any weapons.
And what's the relationship between the woman and this person?
I don't know the exact relationship. I think it's through marriage, but it is a close relationship.
Do we know exactly what led up to all of this at all?
I don't know what precipitated the fire on Wednesday. Those are all things that we're going to look into in the investigation. Obviously now, some investigation has been done to date, but a much more thorough investigation will be continuing now. As the lieutenant indicated, the major crime squad, State Police Major Crime Squad, will be conducting that investigation.
In addition to us hearing you guys trying to communicate with the man on the inside, we also heard this popping sound this morning several times. Explain what was going on at that time.
I can explain. We also have the SWAT commander here, but when they heard the yelling from inside, they do use diversionary munitions, which makes a loud bang and popping, which is the type of thing which diverts someone's attention one way, while they make entry in another way. So that's what people heard. It sounded like gunfire. It was indeed not gunfire at all, but certainly could be mistaken for that.
Did you ever hear that shot that you think this person shot themselves before the yelling or after?
I can't speak to that. I was not anywhere near the building, so I can't speak to that.
What connection did this person have to the house that was on fire?
Also a family home.
But at the second home, he didn't live there? Or
He didn't, but a very close relative.
and they were in some type of relationship, you think?
Not a relationship, they're just a close familial relationship.
And the first house, that was also a family member?
Yes.
And when you said that the fire department backed down, I mean, so he showed them these two long guns and they just let the fire go and kind of backed
Well, it did the right thing, because then it becomes a situation where their lives are being threatened. They did the right thing, which we would tell anybody to do, not confront that person. Again, you don't know when you confront a person like that if there's alcohol or drugs involved, mental health condition, or all of the above, and it's not worth it to confront somebody in that situation. They backed away from the male. He got into a car and drove away, thankfully, and the unfortunate circumstances today ended the way it did.
Are we releasing any names? Yeah.
I'm going to hold those for a little while, make sure we've got all the next of kin notified, but we will be releasing something later today.
Was this person known to either one of the agencies, with the history?
I think probably it's a resident that we believe, but again, until we get the identification and notify next of kin, we're going to hold off on that.
And he did live in Guilford, though?
Believe so.
Okay.
The roads that were closed this morning, are they reopened?
Yes. So, well, partially. Right now, Hemlock will be reopened, particularly for people who live there. Fitch Hill, again, we're going to limit it to people who live there, because we do have, as I said, major crime coming in there to assist. And you've probably been out there. It's a very tight area out there, so they have some pretty big equipment, and so we're going to hold some of that space for them.
And do you know any more about the fire? It didn't seem like from the outside there was as much damage. Do you know, like, where it started or?
I don't. Again, that'll be part of our investigation. I know some of our investigators have talked to the fire department already, but part of that is the state police also helped us out there. Again, I think I mentioned it earlier. For a small town like Guilford, our regional partners and our state police partners are critical to the jobs that we do when cases like this happen, because we're a small department. And we reach out to those regional and state assets to come in with assets that we can't have in a small department, or we don't have enough of in a case like this. So the state fire marshal came out, worked with one of our detectives working that scene. I have not debriefed them yet, so I don't have a lot of information about the scene.
And when he walked up to those firefighters, do you know what that exchange was like, or did he say anything to them?
I haven't been debriefed on that piece of it yet, so most of my time was spent up on Fitch Hill.
Thank you for all of the information. Yeah.
Okay?
And we'll just look for a release for you with the names then? at some point?
Hopefully by the end of today.
Okay.
Again, we want to make sure that
Everybody's
all the family members understand.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
all, yeah.
Anybody else? I don't know if anybody else has anything to add. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.